As you might expect, Android stores your persistent data in the file system. These files can be stored in internal storage that is private to your app. They can also be stored in shared or external storage. On older Android devices, this shared storage was actually on an external memory card. Today, most Android devices only emulate this card so that there is the shared external storage apps need available on the device. Some Android devices have emulated shared storage and secondary external storage. Android 4.4 KitKat added an API to allow developers to access this secondary external storage. We're going to focus on internal storage in this class. Check the instructor notes to learn more about Android storage locations. As I mentioned before, Android persists data into the file system. It does provide two functional layers on top of the file system in the form of shared preferences and SQLite. The Shared Preferences class provides a general framework that allows you to save and retrieve persistent key-value pairs of primitive data types, such as booleans, floats, ints, longs, and strings. Shared Preferences is used by the Android Preference activity to store our settings data, such as the location.
An SQLite database, or any relational database, stores and organizes all its data in tables. Each table is made up of rows and columns, each row being the data record or entry, and the columns represent the data fields that make up those records. When you decide to use a database, you should think of how many tables you need to represent your data and what each table will contain in terms of columns. Once you have a design for your database, you can then create those tables, and upon those tables you can create, remove, update, or delete data. These four operations are usually referred to as CRUD, and any database system should support all four. Any operation in an SQL database is executed using SQL queries. Retrieving data operations are done using a select query. For example, this query would select all the orders that were made by any person with the last name Wales. Almost every popular Android app uses an SQLite database, and to perform any database operations from our Android code, you'll have to generate the appropriate SQL queries. So, if you're unfamiliar with relational databases or how to create SQL queries, check out the links in the instructor notes below before you proceed.